Welcome back to the Fight Talk. Today I am joined by Solomon, the trainer of Salt Papi and Halal Ham. How are you doing, my friend?
Very well. How you doing, my friend? It's been a long time coming, and
Yes, bro.
we're here now.
Yeah, bro. How's camp been for Halal Ham so
Yeah, it's been
far?
really good. We've had a lot more time to prepare for this camp and this fight, shall I say? So he's lost a lot of weight. He's going to be coming in at sub 86 kilos. So yeah, man, he's looking good. A few new things, and yeah, he's looking great. He's feeling good as well, which is the main thing.
That's great. Has he been like sparring Salt Papi as well during
Yeah,
camp?
of course, yeah. Obviously, we know Ginty's an orthodox fighter who's also 6'3", 6'4". So we've prepared for that. We've got very good sparring partners in for that are of the similar dimensions of Ginty, and no disrespect to Ginty, but of more experience and better boxing ability. But at the same time, yeah, Salt Papi's been in camp. He's been doing bits as well, and yeah, there've been some really good spars, really good spars. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good.
that's great. You know, when Halal Ham first fought Salt Papi,
Yeah.
when Halal Ham first joined your team in the gym, was it like weird or anything because they were former opponents? How did they adapt to like being friends and fighting each other in sparring?
So basically, how it came about, Ham actually came and trained with us once. Like, Pappy messaged me and said, "Look, hello, Ham's called, messaged me." I spoke to Ham quite a lot on the fight week when they both fought. So he was a lovely guy. He's like, "Is it okay if he comes?" So I said, "Yeah, get him to shout me." So I spoke to Ham and he came along. And the thing I liked about Hello Ham, he trained very hard. Like he just had his cancer surgery, and I didn't really realize how bad it was, but he was doing like a press up circuit, and he was in really a lot of pain. And he finished through it, and I was like, "You've done really well." And I was like, "But you seemed like you're in a lot of pain." And he pulled his shirt down, and when I saw the scar,
Wow.
bro, like you don't need to do that. Like we'll do a different exercise because I know he's just upset. He goes, "No, I want to build a mental toughness." So basically, from that, I thought this guy likes to train, and then he called me on the week of Andy Warski's fight with Self
Yeah.
Happy. At which point he asked me, "Look, can I come and train with you?" And obviously we talked about a couple of things, and yeah, we're here now. And it was a bit awkward because, to be honest, I think they had a good like relationship between them before their fight. Obviously, there was a bit of back and forth, like there always is.
Yeah.
But when he came back, yeah, the sparring was hard. They don't.
Yeah.
They're really good friends. They're like brothers. But yeah, that all goes out the window in sparring, and then afterwards you're friends again. So
That's great. In terms of Salt Papi, I think who does he want to fight next? Because I know he's been saying he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. I saw a post on Twitter. He said, and then also something to do with Anderson Silva. What's going on with that?
so with Manny Pacquiao, obviously that's his hero, and yeah, that would be great. For him to one day be able to do an exhibition or something with
Yeah,
Manny. And it'd be great to be in the Philippines, maybe like Manila, like Ali back in the day. That'd be great for him. Like I'd be really happy if he got that. Um, I think that might be further down the road.
yeah,
You never know, it might be before, but yeah, Anderson Silva. There's been talks about that. Really and truly, like I don't feel like any of the influencers that want him. So we're looking a little bit outside of the box, which is normal because he wants to fight. So we need a
yeah.
fight, ideally on the May card, because that's going to be, KSI is probably going to fight again on that. So Pappy's a big player, and hopefully co-main event this time. But yeah, really, what I want for him is one of the influencers. Um, you know, because he is an influencer at the end
Yeah,
of the day. He
yeah.
is a professional fighter. He's not an amateur fighter. As much as people want to go around and say that, he's not. He's a work in progress, and he really, really trains hard, and he loves the sport. But he isn't that what people say. So I'd like to see him fight an influencer. Anyone in and around the weight. He's willing to take it on, like anyone.
That's great because I know he's been wanting to fight Jake Paul and KSI. How likely do you think that fight can happen in the future?
I think maybe after their fight it could. Maybe Jake Paul could. I don't think KSI will fight him. Not saying he's scared or anything like that. I think he just got his mat of the way he wants to go to get to the Jake Paul fight, and that's the fight he wants to win. But I think Jake Paul is slightly taking more risk in fights, as we've seen
Yeah,
with Tommy Fury. So I feel like there's a chance of maybe getting a Jake Paul fight before the KSI. Um, but really and truly, if any of these guys lose fights, like regardless, Salt Pappy, any of them, they're influencers, and it shouldn't really affect what's going to happen to them in the future, I think, because they're all novices. They're not professional or amateur fighters, so they've all
exactly.
got very little experience. If anything, Jake's probably got the most, hasn't he?
Especially because
How?
Jake fighting Tommy Fury next week and Tyron Woodley. I know a lot of people say and criticize him because he's fighting UFC champions, but they're still champions and they're still good at what they do. But I think Jake fighting Tommy Fury is a big fight. And I don't think a
Yeah,
lot of people realize because of all of the back and forth there's been for the past year or so of Tommy pulling out. Now the fight is actually happening. What do you think will happen in that fight? Do you think it's going to go the distance, or do you think Jake will be exposed this time?
it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Because when you've got like the easiest way I'll say it is you've got a influencer who trains like a proper professional fighter now in Jake Paul from what we
Yeah.
see. So he's taking the sport very seriously. And then you've got a fighter that acts a little bit more like an influencer. No disrespect to any of the guys from me saying this, but like he's come from fighting background, a fighting family, Tommy Fury, and he's made his fame from like reality TV. So it's like kind of they're both switched roles and now they're
Yeah.
fighting. So I think it's a real 50-50. It's really hard to judge these kind of fights. I think if you put my money on it, I think Jake Paul will beat him.
That's what I think. I think Jake wins, but only by decision. I don't think we're gonna see a knockout.
I
But
thought
if
as well. I
yeah,
thought it's going to be a good fight. But listen, if Tommy Fury's that guy, then we could see because I'm going to be honest. There's Jake Paul. He trains really hard, but just like any other fighters, he's got holes in him.
yeah, yeah,
So we'll see.
100%.
Really, really and truly, I think it's all down to the level of Tommy Fury because we ain't really seen much of him either. He's got a limited amateur career,
Yeah.
so it's not like he's fighting, you know, the likes of a fighter that's had a big amateur career and now he's a professional fighter. I think it depends what Tommy Fury we see. Really,
Well,
what happens,
for
outcome.
me, like you see all the Tyron Woodley first fight against Jake, Tyron
Yeah,
landed a big right hand to Jake and he fell against the ropes. I think if Tommy has more power than Woodley, which he should be, because I
I think
mean he's been fighting his whole life. I think if one of those shots land on Jake, Jake could probably like, be knocked down. If he can
yeah.
handle that or not, I don't know.
There's little things that Jake does that you can see the novice side. Like he against Tyrone when that happened, he kind of turns away from punches and stuff
Yeah,
like that as
yeah,
well, which are real novice things, which are like hard to that you can shake him with experience. So we'll see what happens with that when he does get caught, or if he does get caught. Um, because I do study these fighters for Papi'S future
yeah,
opponents, and we've got game plans in place for all of these guys, and it's not just a game plan; it's numerous. Great fighters adapt during fights. So that's why I know that I see these little things that Jake does that you
yeah.
can see that you pick up on. But yeah, we'll see, man. Like you said, I think Tommy generally would carry more power than um, Tyrone.
Yeah.
So if he lands clean, we'll have to see. Might see some knockdowns in this fight.
I've always wanted to see Jake Paul lose because I am a KSI fan. But
Oh my
if I'm
god!
gonna stay neutral, honestly, I want Jake to win this fight because I want him
Yeah,
to build his career up and make
and the big
the
fight with
fight for
KSI.
KSI, yeah, even like bigger than what it is. And I personally think that Jake, he's at a level where a lot of these influencers are not at, mostly because of his experience. But I think
Yeah, and
someone
the
like
way he trains.
Papi,
Yeah.
I think he would have a good fight against Jake, maybe down the line. But what do you want next for Papi? Like, I know I asked you a similar question beforehand, but is there a fighter in mind that he really wants to fight in terms of an influencer?
Um, like I always call him, he's the can man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
anyone can get it. Any single one of the influencers can get the work from Pappy. He's ready.
yeah,
Send the contract, send a dough. He's a prize fighter, and he will do the business. He'll smoke them all. Like he's got, regardless of their experience, he will beat these influencer fighters. Okay. Um, I've always said from the start, and I feel bad saying this because he's a lovely guy. I met him at the boxer event, Anderson Gibb.
Yeah,
Really nice guy, really respectful, lovely to talk to. But when I first met Pappy and we started talking about future fights, I always said that'd be a really good stylistic fight from him. I'd love
yeah.
that.
I
Now I know
think
I think he's contractually. I'm not sure, but I think I've heard rumors that he might be fighting soon. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But yeah, it's just to be honest, brother, I don't think many people want it, and I understand, like because he looks scary in the performances he's had in his last two
yeah,
performances. You know, he's dealt taking care of these guys, but he's prepared very hard for them. Like these guys, like Josh was not a joke. Josh will give a lot of people a hard night. He's super fit, strong, um, and he's a decent fighter. But
yeah,
we took everything away from Josh that night. Everything.
exactly. Yeah,
Like I think that looked scary because you know what? A lot of people I think saw Pappy even maybe as an underdog in that fight. Looking at it now, obviously we see how what happened in that fight. You might be like, oh no. But I think a lot of people had him down as an underdog.
yeah. I mean, touching on that fight, that Josh Bruckner fight, everyone thought that Josh could have won. Like a lot of people who I know said that Josh is going to expose Pappy. But if you
Mm.
saw, I did an interview with Wade and I was like, Pappy's going to end him in the second round because I knew that Josh was a good fighter, but I just thought that Pappy was more skilled in terms of his fighting. And that when he caught Josh, I forgot was it a left or right hand, but that shot
Straight left,
that he
yeah.
knocked him down, yeah, that was when I was watching in the arena. I was like, yeah, this guy's a big deal. And after that event, I was like, I think Papi could beat Gibb, but that's going to be one of the most skilled fights we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's stylistically good because Gibb comes forward as well.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm telling you, like I've said this numerous times, and people might think I'm talking crap or whatever. No one's seen anything. He was in second. No disrespect again to Josh. He was like in second gear in that fight.
yeah,
He didn't have to step out. And like all I'd say to all the influencers out there, get him while you can because he's only getting better. And he didn't get to show what he's learned for the Andy Warski fight
yeah,
in the last fights, and then he learned more for the Josh fight, which he didn't get to show. But one thing he has got, he's got a heart, and if anyone pushes him, they might bring out the final form, as he calls it. You know,
yeah,
I was disappointed with a couple of things that night. Not nothing bad, like because I care about him like a younger brother.
yeah,
His showboating and stuff is who he is. But I do think he could have got Josh out of there. No disrespect to Josh in the first round, he could have got him
yeah,
out of there.
yeah,
Josh was a little bit timid though, because we was catching him counter shots in the first round that we had worked on. Um, and that made Josh really timid because he was like, every time I come in, I'm getting caught. And that's what made him kind of be timid, like he threw a little pat, 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 and then he lunged in with a left hook,
yeah,
and that's when we turned him with the backhand. But yeah, like I'd love Anderson Gibb. Going back to your original question, I'd love
yeah.
that fight. I've talked about loads of guys, but they're just not going to fight.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people, I wouldn't say maybe ducking, but they know that Papi is very good when it comes to this influencer boxing game, and I think
It's
they
high
may be a
risk,
bit
low
scared.
reward for them. Well, they think. I don't think it is now. I think it's high risk
Yeah,
and high reward.
hundred
It was
percent.
once upon a time. It may have been looked as he's high risk, low reward, but I don't think he is now because let's get it right. When we talk about influencer boxing, who's the most talked about? Like he's one of them, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's up
hundred
there. And
percent,
he's most talked
hundred
about.
percent.
Like we've got to say Jay Kiz because he's done so much, and KSI always is going to be. But taking them two away, do you reckon he's the most talked about influencer boxer?
I'd say 100%. If you take away KSI and Jake, Happy he's got the hype around him. That's the
Yeah,
thing. And normally people would say someone like Gibb, but Pappy has shown in his like recent fights that he really
it's the
wants
knockout.
it.
It's the
Exactly,
knockout. They
exactly.
sell, right?
That's the thing. I think Pappy's got more hype than a lot of these people, and people like him more and want to see like a main event from him. And
Mm.
I think a main event should be someone like Kenny. That fight is a fight that I think a lot of people would like. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd like that fight. We have talked about it a lot of times. He's a nice guy, Kenny. I'm going to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like I spoke to him. He's a decent guy. But obviously, I think he's got his own mind made up, and you can't. You know, we have a back and forth. Like Pappy had a back and forth with him, calling him out and stuff, and
Yeah.
like it hasn't gone anywhere. And like I just think after a while, it's like if someone wants it, they would have done it by now. So
Yeah,
he's on his own journey in whatever way. We'd love to see that fight. I think that'd be a great fight, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen, bro. Like, I
yeah.
just don't.
I mean,
I can't see.
I think it would be an amazing fight if it did happen. But
It'd be a
what?
big fight,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
Main event fight, you know.
Yeah, Misfits have just introduced a tag team division. Do you think we can see someone like Papi and Halal Ham versus two other influencers?
Yeah, you won't beat them two guys. They're going to be the. Hopefully, well, soon Pappy will get the belt, and
Yeah,
once Ham does what he does on March the 4th, you're going to see what these guys are really about because
yeah.
you're going to see. Trust me, you'll remember. We'll do an interview after that fight, me
All
and
right,
you.
cool. Yeah,
You'll remember this that like Ham has really improved. He's worked really hard. We'll see the transformation on him,
yeah,
and yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to see how that all works. To be
yeah.
honest.
I mean, they released a clip somewhere on Twitter about how the tag team will actually work in
Yeah,
KSI's
I saw.
gym.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't. You know what? I ended up closing the video because I think I got a call. But I need to go
Yeah.
back and watch it tonight, see how
I
it
mean,
works.
I was watching it and I thought it was gonna be absolutely rubbish because, in my opinion, like I don't know if this is just okay. It's in a normal gym, but the ring was tiny and the area where you are at the corner in order to be tagged in, like if someone just goes to that corner, they're immediately tagged in, and if like they can't even fight back, they're in the corner. I don't know if you saw that part, but there's like a little square.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
I'll definitely watch that. But yeah, I think. Who do you think? Who would did you say you would like to see him versus Kenny? Is that the fight you would like to see?
I would like to see Papi versus Kenny, also because I think that's going to be a skilled fight on top of the Gib one. But Kenny also has to fight someone who's a bit of a lower level than him, a bit higher than DK Money, but lower than him. So I don't think Papi is the right fight for Kenny for as of now, maybe for the future. But now I want to see Papi versus Gib or Papi versus someone like Slim
Yeah,
because everyone is like Slim is now looked down upon now because of the last fight he had against Tom Zanetti, but people don't understand that Slim is still a good fighter. He's still a good fighter and he deserves the respect.
yeah, tough guy as well.
Yeah.
So how do you think? How do you think? I'm going to ask you a couple of
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
How do you think those fights will go? So we've got Gibbs, Slim, Kenny. How do you think they would go?
I'd say okay. So let's start with the Gibb fight. I think both fighters are going to put pressure on each other. Gibb is a type of fighter who just comes forward in like the first round as well. But
Mm.
Gibb's chin isn't that great because we saw against Austin, he got clipped on the chin and he got knocked down. And yes, granted, he came back from it and started to fight back and knocked out Austin later on. But I think Papi, the minute he gets that one shot like he did against Bruckner on Gibb, I think Gibb goes down. That's how I think that's gonna happen.
You know what the scary thing is? Every time he's put someone down, luckily they haven't been allowed to continue because then you'll
Yeah.
see,
Oh my god. I
and
can
then it would be
imagine.
yeah, then it would
Yeah.
be night night. But yeah, I think that'd be a really good fight. It'd be a massive fight. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've got it. Seeing, I'll go same way as you. I think Gibb will come to bring the heat. He will definitely bring the heat. Um,
100%.
but Pappy's got great timing
Yeah.
and he's got great speed. His speed is in his reactions and timing. It's not in his actual punching speed. His punching speed is still fast though, but his timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
He's very composed and relaxed, which I teach my fighters all the time to be. You know, being comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's
Yeah.
what I say. Because
Yeah.
if you can do that, things ain't gonna phase you. So yeah, I think I agree with that. How do you think the slim one will go?
Oh my god. Okay. Here's the thing, all right. Slim's gas tank, it's not that great. So that's something he
Mm.
has to work on, in my opinion. But I think if Pappy just puts a lot of pressure on Slim, Slim can't, I don't think he'll be able to take the damage and power of Pappy because Tom Zanetti, that last fight he just had, it was very good from Tom.
Mm.
But
He done
Slim,
well.
yeah, Slim could have got dropped in one of those rounds, because of his gas tank as well. He
Yeah.
wasn't looking like that great. His legs were wobbly. So I think it's if Pappy has enough stamina. Granted, we haven't seen a lot of rounds from him. If he has enough stamina, I think he finishes Slim as well.
These boys do 10, 12 rounds in the gym back to back.
See, that's crazy. That's this
I'm
is
just
something
being
we
real.
don't see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even like trying to big him up. Like,
Yeah,
look, yeah, yesterday, no, day before yesterday, Ham done 9 rounds with Pappy and another sparring partner, one after the other. They switching in and coming in with Ham.
that's
Well,
crazy.
they all go through it. They
Yeah,
do very minimal rest in these rounds.
that's good.
We don't always spar crazy hard like that, but they do have some tough sparring, and then obviously technical stuff. But yeah, when it's hard, these guys, I know they've got 4 rounds is a walk in the park. It should be for these guys. Obviously, fight night brings other things. It brings like the lights, cameras, action,
Yeah,
bands, extra
100%.
nerves. But that can zap. Like you could have a full bar of energy, and when you get into the ring, you're already there. Like that's what fight night can bring. But yeah, these guys train hard. We do prepare for it. So gas tank wise, I'm not worried about any of these guys. They train really hard, and I push them. But yeah, I think Slim will definitely go back and work on his gas tank as well.
100%.
And it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix, isn't it? Just train a bit harder. I'm not sure if he had a good training camp or not last time around. So, but yeah. And finally, Kenny, how do you think that goes?
All right. This is interesting because I've followed Kenny since like he was the first YouTuber I actually watched, and I
Oh
followed him.
well,
So this is gonna hurt me. As much as I love Kenny, I think Pappy's too good. I'm not even just like saying that because you're his trainer or anything. I think we need to see more Pappy, more rounds, and I can give my proper decision. Kenny's jab is good, and we saw against DK Money he can use his right hand. But Pappy, I don't know a lot about what he can do because we haven't seen a lot of rounds from him. But from the
yeah,
first few rounds we've seen of him, he's dangerous. He is
yeah.
dangerous.
I say we've seen 20% of what Pappy can
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like, I'll bring you down to the gym one day. You can watch some sparring. Come
That would be
down
cool.
and
That would
pay
be
per
so
view
sick.
stuff. It's pay per view stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and but the thing with him on fight night, he becomes someone else, and I'm not even joking on that. Like,
How so?
that was his big night the other night. There was a lot of pressure on him,
Yeah,
and a little bit of nerves in the back. And he asked me, Coach, what should I do? And I said, look, compose yourself, relax. I've told you everything we need to work on. I told him the game plan again. Just be patient. That's the key thing.
yeah,
And he can be a bit, he wants to go to war with these guys. But I told him be patient, and he was. But when he come out to the ring and he does his walkout and all that, I'm like, did you like swap bodies? Because he just seemed like a different guy.
yeah,
His whole I feel like when the crowd comes, it gives him more energy. Like I
yeah,
know it sounds weird, but he's a complete different guy to even sparring. Like when he's sparring, he's very good, right? But I say to these sparring partners, I said, you know what? He's a different guy I'm fighting with.
I
He really is.
mean,
When he gets to the ring with the
yeah,
crowd, it's like he feeds energy off of them. And it's a blessing to him, man. It's really a blessing because he just looks 30% of a different fighter.
for
I
me,
guess
like,
that's I guess
yeah,
that's when he actually became super salt happy, as he calls it.
yeah, Super Salt Pappy. So when he had his ring walk in that last fight, he was dancing on the stage, and like that's when I knew like he's got so much of confidence about him
Yes.
that like that I thought that was great seeing Pappy with that much of confidence, even though there was a lot of people saying that
A lot
this
of
has
pressure.
a lot of pressure, 100%, a lot of pressure on Pappy this time. The fact that he walked with that energy and that confidence, like
Yeah.
I think there's something about him which a lot of people don't have in this influencer boxing space.
Yeah.
He has good energy and that that thrive to actually go for it. That's what I
Yeah.
think, judging by what I've
Yeah.
seen so far.
We all know that was a tough fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
100%.
tough fight. We trained so hard, but I was still nervous. I wasn't nervous because I didn't think he was going to win. I predicted a knockout, and I said it could be in the first.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be a knockout, 100%. I thought it could be in the first. I said, don't be surprised if it's in the first round again, because I did genuinely think he could walk on. But Josh had improved from his
yeah,
last fight. He did do a couple of mistakes that he was making, crossing his feet and stuff. He weren't doing that anymore. And I think, like I said, he got timid, which caused it to delay till the
yeah,
second round. But that was a tough fight, and I was nervous for him because I wanted, as him being like my fighter and also like a little brother.
yeah,
He has so much respect for me, and I really appreciate that. And I just wanted him to elevate his life and his family's life with it, and that's what put like the nerves on me.
yeah.
You know, I always pray for him in the back. You know, we always do a little circle huddle, and
Yeah,
I do an Islamic prayer. They all join in, and I pray for him. And yeah, like it's just a blessing to have him and my brother Halal Ham in camp. They're like little brothers, and
that's great.
you know what? God, Allah works in mysterious ways, man. Like you got to believe in divine powers. I'm very blessed that I've
Yeah,
got people like this in my life, basically.
yeah, that's the thing. And I have one question for you. That fight against Josh Bruckner in the first round, Papi was doing a lot of showboating. And for me, I was nervous, but excited nervous because I was like,
Yeah,
okay, you're doing all of this, but I'm scared. Like, just don't do too much. How are you
yeah.
feeling when you saw that he was showboating a lot in that first round?
I lost my voice a little bit because I was shouting, so I had to
Yeah,
get his dad to shout stuff in. But I don't mind it. That's him.
yeah,
But at the same time, Josh is really dangerous.
yeah, yeah,
You know, he's a dangerous man. Like if he's strong, so if he lands with those small gloves, it can do some damage. You saw Papi had two black eyes after the fight. You saw it in his
yeah.
videos.
Oh God,
So he got a bit of damage, but like I got his dad to shout in because I noticed he became timid, and I told him to tell him to stop showboating and get serious. So when he
yeah,
came back to the corner, I did say to him, "Stop. I won't use the language, messing about.
yeah.
Put the pressure on now and get him out there." And yeah, he did that. But I think that's him. It gives him confidence. And I don't take anything away from fighters. I just try and make them better versions of themselves.
That's a
And
great mentality. Yeah,
that's the way to be. You can't. There's a lot of people out there that try and do it the other way around. But I've got ideologies about boxing that I believe in, and I do work with them. But I try and make these guys better versions of themselves.
yeah,
Like I'm not going to teach Salt Pappy to box like Halal Ham, and I'm not going to teach Halal Ham to box like Salt Pappy. They're both different
yeah,
human beings. We all have blessings that we've been given to us, and we've got to use them in the best way we can possible and make the best version of ourselves. But yeah, like the showboating, a little bit nervous because he done it for the whole round. That's
yeah,
what bothered me. Like I was like, shit, like
yeah,
stop doing
yeah.
that. Josh was dangerous, man. He was dangerous, but yeah, it was good. Like I don't mind it. He's always going to do it, and I don't mind him doing it because he's sensible with it as well.
Yeah. And okay, I want to get your prediction for this Halal Ham versus GINTY fight. What do you think is going to happen with Halal Ham?
Allow him by knockout.
What round? Yeah, but how many rounds is this fight?
I think it's a 3 round fight.
Okay,
Um, I think Halal Ham, bro, it's gonna be you're gonna
I'm
have to see.
excited. I'm excited.
I'm not sure because it really depends on Giddy.
Yeah,
But I think first or second, first or second. People say Ginty's tough. What we're bringing, toughness ain't gonna really help with that, man.
all
So
right.
I think first or second. If not, it's going to be a thorough beatdown for 3 rounds.
I look
Like
forward to seeing it.
an
Yeah,
absolute whooping, one way whooping. That's what it's going to be. So, but I think first or second, allow hand by stoppage.
I think if that happens, then everyone in like the influencer boxing community is gonna go absolutely mental because like it's like Papi and Halal Ham. It just
Yeah.
sets up that tag team match, man. It just sets it up because they're both friends,
If,
former opponents.
if he's doing it like, and which he will. If he's doing what he doesn't, if he does what he's doing in the gym, he's going to
Yeah,
knock Ginty out. No disrespect to Ginty, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's going to knock Ginty out, and he will do what he's doing in the gym. You know, It's yeah, I'm really. This is like I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the one that I'm really excited about, just as much as Josh Breckner versus Salt Papi.
yeah,
This is really exciting, this fight, because this is going to be the coming of Halal Han.
that's great. I'm gonna see if I can try and make it to the fight.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be great.
it's in Telford, right?
Yeah, where are you? London.
Wembley. You know when I saw you last time, I was literally five
Yeah.
minutes away from Hilton.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah. You should definitely try and get down there. You need
yeah,
to boost the channel,
yeah, yeah.
uh, get more content. So
I'm
it
I'm
definitely get out there as much as you can. I know it's difficult.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's difficult right now. I'll try and get into it with my brother because I go to these events with my brother all the time.
How old's your
Yeah.
brother?
Well, I have two, so one of them 24 and one of them 21.
Lovely. And
Yeah.
how old are you?
I'm 15. So
And we're doing bits, bro.
I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Okay, do you have any final words to Salt Papi, Halal Ham, all of those fans? What do you have to say?
Yeah, you know, keep supporting these guys because they're genuine guys and they're working hard. They take it seriously, and everyone keep an eye out on these boys because they're going to bring some heat. And March the 4th, tune in for Allow Ham getting that knockout, man. Allow Ham's going to get it March the 4th.
There you have it, guys. Solomon has just given his prediction for Misfits number 5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So make sure you subscribe, do all of that, and link to his Instagram, social media, all down below. I appreciate you coming onto the channel, brother. And I look forward to
Appreciate you
see you
having me,
again.
man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Take it.
Appreciate that.